Today we will see the concept inheritance. So already you have studied inheritance concept in C++ itself. So only some small changes is there in Java, that remaining everything is similar in your C++. So here multiple inheritance is not available. So that multiple inheritance we can achieve through interface concept. We will see that interface concept later. So mostly almost all the concept of that inheritance are as same as C++. You don't worry, if you are very clear in inheritance concept of C++, then it is very easy to understand here. What is mean by inheritance? Inheritance means inheriting the properties of one class to another class. So that is called the inheritance. So inheritance is the process by which one object acquires the properties of another object. So this is called the inheritance. So this is important because it supports the concept of hierarchical classification. In Java terminology, the class that is inherited is called as a superclass. In C++, we called as that as a base class, no? But here it is called as superclass. Okay, so the class that is inherited is called a superclass. The class that does the inheriting is called a subclass. In C++, we called that as a derived class, base class, derived class. So here also we use the term base and derived, but the two new word, that is a super and subclass. So the class that is inherited is called a superclass. The class that does the inheriting is called the subclass. And here for inheritance purpose we are using extends keyword. For inheritance purpose here we are using the keyword extends. In C++, that visibility mode, there are no private visibility mode, public visibility mode, protected visibility mode. So that visibility mode and all not available in Java. Access specifier is there. Access specifier, public, private, protected. That access specifier is there. But while we inheriting, we are using the visibility mode in C++. No, so that is not there in Java. So using a superclass object, we can access the member of a superclass. Using subclass object, we can access both superclass and also subclass member. By using superclass object, we can access only superclass member. By using subclass object, we can access the subclass member as well as superclass member. So we cannot directly assign superclass reference value to subclass object. That means already I told you, no, that base class reference can the base class reference sorry, the derived class, sorry, forget that one. Wait, I will explain with example. So we cannot directly assign superclass reference value to subclass object. So if you try to assign, what you will get means you will get class cost exception. Class cost exception. So we can directly assign subclass reference value to superclass object. This already we have seen this one in some topic. Which topic? I forget that one. That superclass reference. Which topic? Anyone?
Anonymous.
In anonymous. Yes, in
Anonymous and
inner class. Okay. Anonymous inner class. Okay, so we cannot directly assign superclass reference value to subclass object. If you try to use, what will happen? You will get an exception. That exception called class cost exception. We can directly assign subclass reference value to superclass object. That is possible, but we can access the field and methods of only superclass. You can assign subclass reference value to superclass object is possible, but even you can access only superclass method and members, superclass members. So let's see one example. So here this class is super. Here class super that have two data member, that member x, y, both are integer and value 10 and 20. And now I have derived one class from this super class. From this super class, I have derived one class. That class name is called derived. Now for inheritance, which keyword I have to use? I have to use the keyword extends. So now what it tells? It tells it is derived from this. This derived class is derived from this super class. This super class, and this class have only one data member z. And now one more class I have created. So that class name is inheritance example 1. So within that I have a main function. Here I have created object for which class? Here I have created object for which class?
Derived class.
No,
super class.
I'm creating object for derived class only, but that is going to be assigned in that is going to be assigned in superclass reference. Now, this is possible. This is possible. But can you assign derived d derived derived? You write that is, this is full name of derived derived d equal to new super is possible. It is not possible, ma. If you try to do, what will happen? Understood that handwriting is clear, ma. This is super. What will happen, ma? This is a derived and this is the reference new super. What will happen, pa? Class cost exception will occur, but this is possible. But even it is assigned in superclass reference, ma. You can access only superclass data member. You cannot access the derived class member, pa. Even this derived class object is stored in this superclass reference. You can access only superclass member. You cannot access the derived class member. For example, s dot x. So this s dot x is the superclass member. X is the superclass member, so I can access. And y is also superclass member, I can access. But z is the derived class member, pa. By using superclass reference, I cannot access this derived class member z. I cannot access the derived class member z. So what I will get means I will get an error that is cannot find the symbol, the variable z, variable of type super, variable s of type super. Understood, pa? Understood or not, ma? Say yes or no, pa?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, pa. Next, now I have in superclass itself I have three variables x, y, z, and then in derived class I have same data member name z, pa. So now this derived class is derived from superclass, that's super. The derived class is derived from the class super, and that super class have three data member x, y, z, and this derived classes also have the data member z, pa. And then this derived class have one member function. So that member function name is a function derived. So within that I have just printed the function derived. And then here I have created one class. So within that class, I have one main function. But now I have created an object for derived class, but that is stored in the reference of super class. So now it is possible, Anna. It is possible. This x, y, z. Now I won't get any error. But this is my x, y, z here in these three statements. I won't get error because that super class itself I have variable x, y, z. If the superclass does not have z, that time I will get an error. But now the superclass itself I have an z variable, so now this three statement won't show any error, pa. But this statement, for this statement I will get an error. Why, pa? For this statement I will get an error. Why, ma? Anyone?
That function is not defined in superclass.
This function is not defined in superclass, but I try to access the function by using which class reference? Superclass reference. So it will search that function derived method is available in that superclass or not. So if it is not available, then immediately it will throw the error. So what error it's showing means error cannot find symbol s dot function derived method function derived variable s of type super. Okay, so now. Dynamic method dispatch, runtime polymorphism. In C++, we have studied the concept called the virtual function. So here it is called the dynamic method dispatch. In C++ also, the virtual function concept is called runtime polymorphism. Here also it is called as runtime polymorphism. So dynamic method dispatch is the mechanism by which a call to an overridden method is resolved at runtime rather than compile time. Have you remembered the concept, virtual function concept of C++? Have you remembered the virtual function concept of C++? What does mean? Virtual function means actually it seems to be calling a function of one class, but actually it will call the function of another class. Virtual function means it seems to be calling a function of one class, but actually it is calling the function of another class. So that is called virtual function. I will explain with one example. So here I have a class. I have one class called A. So within that I have one function called me, and then within that method, what I have printed means inside A call me method. Okay, and then I have one more class B. So that B is inherited from class A, and this class is also have the same method name. This B is also have the same method name. And one more class C, that C is also inherited from class A. So what is this type of inheritance, ma? What is this type of inheritance? From A, two classes are inherited. One is B. What is this type of inheritance? Tell me, ma.
Multi-level.
Multi-level, ma'am.
Multi-level, multiple,
Multiple, ma'am.
multiple. Huh?
Multi-level, ma'am. Multi-level.
Multiple, ma'am.
Multiple means more than that one derived class that is derived from more than one base class, ma. So that is multiple. More than. Am I correct or not? Ma? That means what is mean by multiple means one derived class that is derived from more than one base class means. For example, take it as a C. Take it the C. Okay, now the C is inherited from two base class. C is inherited from two base class. So then you can say this is multiple inheritance. What does mean by multi-level means?
Ma'am?
Ma'am, hierarchical, ma'am. Sorry.
Hierarchical, ma'am.
Yes. No one say the term hierarchy. Okay, good. Now, so now this is also have the method call me. Here I'm creating object for which class? I'm creating object for which class? Base class A. I'm creating object for this class A. And then here I'm creating object for class B. So this small a is the object of class A, small b is the object of class B, class C is object of class C. And this is the reference of that super class A. R is the reference of a super class A. Okay, so now this R, in that R, what I'm storing, in that R, what I'm storing, I'm storing the object of the class A. So it is possible, so this type is also A, and this object type is also A, so then it is possible. So now when I call the call me method, which class call me method is invoked, ma? Which class call me method is invoked? Got it? A class call me method is invoked. Next, here R equal to B. This is possible. B is the derived class object. B is the derived class object, but this R is the base class reference. So it is possible or not, ma?
Yes, ma'am.
It is possible. Now by using this R, I'm going to call the method call me. Now this will call which method? That R type is A, but this contains B or B class object. So now by using that reference, I'm calling the call me method. So now which method is invoked? A class call me method or B class call me method? A class call me method or B class call me method?
A class, ma'am.
Actually, it won't call A class call me method, ma. It will call B class call me method. Actually, it seems to be calling the method of A class because what is the type of R? The type of R is A. So it seems to be calling the method of A class. But actually, what it will call me, it will call the B class call me method, ma, because during runtime only here the link is happened between function call and function definition here. So now what will happen? This R, instead of checking the type of that R, it will check the content of that R. So now this R contains which class object? Derived class, B class object. So that's why when I am calling R dot call me, now it will call the B class method. So now it will print inside B call me method. Now, if this statement is not there, if this function is not there in A class, then the statement will show error. In the previous example, we have seen, no? Have you remembered that one? If this call me method was not there in A class, then I cannot call R dot call me. I will get an error. Have you remembered that one, ma? So in derived class, I have function derived method. In derived class, I have function derived method, but in base class I don't have function derived. But here I try to call s dot function derived. What I will get? I will get an error message, here. But in this A class I have call me method, so that's why I can call by using R dot call me here, ma. Understood? Understood what I'm saying? Say sir, no, pa.
Ma'am?
Tell me, pa.
Ma'am, without using the virtual keyword, it will be automatically resolved.
Yes, because here we don't have a pointer concept, So automatically, without using virtual keyword, it will call the derived class method by seeing the content of that reference, not by seeing the type of the reference, by seeing the content of the reference. Got it up.
Ma'am? Ma'am, then the value of Z in the previous slide will be 30, no, ma'am? In the previous slide, ma'am.
No. That the data member value we can access only here. Actually, it is 40 only. We cannot access this 30, ma. Sorry. Here overridden. No. I will show you an example, ma. Actually, 40 will be only printed. I will show you. With one example.
Okay, ma'am.
Here I have an example. Okay. This one dynamic dispatch you understood, Amma. So here or this.
Ma'am?
Tell me, pa.
Ma'am, here in that case, like when we are dynamically only the connection is happening, it only looks to the content, and so B is call me only is called, ma'am.
Yes,
In that case, what is the necessity for call me function to be in class A also, ma'am? Like if A class did not have call me function, it will print an error, ma'am. That's my question.
In our C++, we have a pure virtual function concept, pure virtual function concept. In that, actually, the pure virtual function does not have any definition. Even though we should need to put that pure virtual function in base class. What is the purpose of putting that pure virtual function in base class, ma? Understood what I'm asking? In C++, we have studied one concept called the pure virtual function. No, pa? The pure virtual function does not have definition. Even it does not have definition, we need to keep that pure virtual function in base class. What is the need? Ma?
Ma'am, overriding.
So for overriding purpose. So if derived by using base class reference, I can only access the overridden method. Okay, so for overridden purpose, we have to keep that base class. We have to keep our pure virtual function in base class. So in the same way, I can only access the overridden method. So if this method was not there, then I cannot call this B class call me and C class call me by using A class reference. Now here you no need to write a definition. You just write void call me and put open brace, close brace. It's just enough. You no need to write a definition. But by using if that A or no, so this R contain base class object means that time this method is invoked. If this R contain base class object means that time this method is invoked. Got it, Amma? Understood?
Okay, ma'am. Ma'am, in that case, say in class B, apart from call me, I have another function also to say start. Now, will R be able, like when R equal to B, will R be able to access that start function?
No. Only I can access the overridden method of I cannot access. Okay. So by if I want to access that, now I have to access only by using B class object only. B class reference and B class object. I cannot access by using a super class reference.
Okay, Maya. I understood now. Thank you,
Amma? Okay. Okay, pa. Okay, man, this is called. So here you no need to use a virtual keyword and all. When compared to C++, so here the runtime polymorphism is very simple, very simple and very easy. Only you need to understand the concept. But in C++ and all, you need to use a pointer, and then you need to use the keyword virtual. So those things and all here you no need to use. Got it, Appa?
Ma'am, once can you go to previous slide?
Okay, tell me, pa.
Ma'am, why here Z will print 40, ma'am? Because it will overridden, no, ma'am. The Z should be printed as 30, no, ma'am.
Actually, for variable, it will print only the base class data member value only. It won't print the overridden value. It won't print for data member. So I will show you. I will show you an example. So in this example, x, y, z, and then the derived classes also have the same variable z bar. Okay, so here I have created object for which class, ma? I have created object for a derived class, but here the reference is the super class reference. So now s dot x, s dot y, s dot z means it will only access the member means it will only access the super class member. Only it will print 10, 20, 40. So derived class data member cannot be accessed by using super class reference. Got it, Abba? Data member. You can access a method. You can access the method if it is overridden. But data member means you can access only the super class data member only. Understood, Amma? Shall I move to next? Okay, pa. Or otherwise you need the execution of this program, pa. Shall I execute this program and show the output? No need, Amma?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I will show you. I'm going to save this program in here I have 3 class: super, derived, inheritance example 1. So in what name I have to save this program?
Super.
Inheritance example.
Inheritance example 1, because that class only have a main function. So I have to save this program with the name of inheritance example 1. Example 1.java. Equivalent Java programs set path equal to equivalent slash program files Java dedicate thing Java C inheritance example 1 dot Java. But that output what I'm getting, even the result is overridden in the derived class, the data member I can access only the superclass data member. So I will get answer x value 10 and y value 20 and z value is 40. Got it, Abba? Tell me, Pa.
If there is no z value in superclass, then it will print error, ma'am.
Yes, error. You will get error. If there is
Okay,
no
ma'am.
z value, here I cannot, if I try to write s dot z, I will get an error. Okay, Papa? Okay, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am.
Next, we will see the static method. For static method, we no need to create object. No, by using a class name, we can call the static method. So here, in this super class, I have one static method. So I have one static method. And then in derived class, so that derived class is extends from this class super static. So this derived static is derived from the super class super static, and this classes also have same static method. So here also the method name is what? Static method, and here also method name is what? Static method. So both are static. So within that, what I have written superclass static method. So within that, what I have written derived class static method. Here super static. Here this is the reference of superclass reference, but here I am creating object of the derived class. So now you can call the static method by using object, and also you can call the static method by using class name. So you can call the static method by using class name, and also you can call the static method by using object name. Both are possible. So now I try to here I have created 2 objects. One is obj. So this obj reference type is super static, but it contains derived class object. Here this obj1. So obj1 reference type is derived static, and also it contains the same derived class object. So obj type is obj reference type is super class. Obj reference type is derived class. So now by using obj dot static method means which method is invoked? Which method is invoked? Base class so static method or derived class static method? Which one is invoked?
Base class static method.
Actually, in that previous example, here I have a call me method in base class and also derived class. So now when this R contains object of B, that will call the derived class call me only, no. The time that it will call the derived class call me only, no. But here this object this object contains derived class object only. So by using this obj, if I call static method, it has to call derived class static method only, no. Why it will call the base class static method? Understood? What I'm asking, you understood or not? My question you understood?
Ma'am, static method cannot be overridden.
Yes, very good, very good. Static method cannot be overridden. Normal method only can be overridden. Static method cannot be overridden. So that's why this will call only the base class static method. Got it? So that you need to know. So that's why I have explained that static method cannot be overridden. Understood? Understood? Say yes or no, so by using this object, I can call only the superclass, because this method cannot be overridden. Static method cannot be overridden. So that's why it will print a superclass static method. And then next, Next, by using super static, by using class name also, I can access the method, static method. I can access the static method. So now this I'm calling the method by using a super static. So it will call the super class static method. And then next, by using obj1, that is the object of derived class. So now it will call the derived class static method. So derived class static method. Next time, by using a class name, I am calling. So by using class name also, I can call the static method. So it will print a derived class static method. So we can call static method by using class name and also by using the its object. So in runtime polymorphism or dynamic method dispatch, base class static method is called because static method cannot be override. Understood, Appa? Understood, Anatma?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Next, in how constructor is invoked, constructor execution sequence. In C++, while we create object for derived class, which constructor is executed first? What is the constructor execution sequence?
Base class and then derived.
The same thing here also. First base class constructor is executed first. So for here I have one class called base. So within that I have one no argument constructor. So within that what I am printing, within that no argument constructor, I am printing base. And then I have one argument constructor. So within that what I am printing this str. Along with this str, I am printing one more content, and that is base constructor. And then now I am going to derive one derived class. So that derived class is derived from that base class base. Now here in this class also I have one argument constructor. In this class I have one argument constructor. So here what I am printing that str. So along with this str, here what I am printing derived constructor. And then this derived class itself, I have a main function. Now I am creating object for the derived class. And then that is going to be stored in the reference base class. Now which class constructor is executed means actually control will come to here only. Actually control will come to here. So from here, what it will call? It will call the base class. From here, actually, it will call. Sorry. Control will come to here. Control will come to here. Now from here, it will call which constructor? From here, it will call which constructor? And base class. In base class, I have two constructors. One is no
argument constructor.
So even from here, it will call always. It will call the base class no argument constructor first. So control will come to here. So now what it will print? It will print base. So after that, this statement will be printed. So for this str, what I have printed, what I have passed derived object created. So now it will print a derived object created and then derived constructor. So it will print a derived object created, derived constructor, and then it will print from main. Understood? One more time I will explain. When I am creating object for the derived class, actually control will come to here only. But from here, it will call the base class no argument constructor. So even it is a one argument constructor, but from here, always it will call the base class no argument constructor. So control will come to here. So that's why it will print a base. First it will print a base. After that, control will come to here. So now for this str, what we have passed derived object created. So now for this str, derived object created and then derived constructor. So that is printed. Derived object created, derived constructor. So after that, the control will come to here. Then it will print from main. Understood, Abba? Say yes or no, ma?
Yes, ma'am.
No.
Ma'am?
Tell me, pa.
Once on the previous one.
Previous one. Okay, tell me, pa.
Ma'am, while we are creating the object, we have used base object is equal to new derived one.
Base object equal to here you can also use a derived one obj. It is also possible, pa.
Oh, yes, ma'am. If you use derived, what is the output?
And the same output only. Same output only. You want to check? Do you want to check that one? Shall I execute that code?
Yes, ma'am.
And now in what name I have to save the program? I have two classes. One is base class, another one is derived one. So in derived one class only I have a main function. So in what name I have to save the program? In what name I have to save the program?
Derived one.
Derived one.
Ma'am?
Tell me, Pa.
Like I have asked, change that base as derived one.
Okay. Change. Okay. Come on. Derived one dot Java. Actually, one open brace is missing. Can you able to see that output, ma? First base and then derived object created, derived constructor, some main. Can you able to see the output, pa? In the same output only I will get it. But why I have written here that base class object means that you know the concept that derived class object can also be stored in base class reference. So that's why I'm keep on storing derived class object in base class reference. So other than that, nothing, ma. Okay. Understood, Appa?
But in one more example, in previous we have a call me function.
Which function, ma?
Previous one.
This one, ma?
In this case, if you call like b dot call me, what will happen? What will be the output?
B dot call me means that same B class function only will be called. I will show you. This is A class call me. This is B class call me method. And this is C class call me method. Next, main function. Main function. So now I am going to save this program with the name dispatch. Java. Now first I will execute as it is. After that I will change what you want to modify in that part. First I will execute as it is. Dispatch.java. Java. So first time A call me method, next time B call me method, and the third one is so this will call A call me method, and this will call B call me method, and this will call C call me method. So when I execute this program, I will get inside A call me, inside B call me, inside C call me. So now you tell me now what changes I have to do it here. I need to do instead of R dot call me, I have to call B dot call me. Okay. It will call B class method only, ma. It will call B class method only. So now I will compile it and again I will execute it. Ma, again it is printing A dot call me, B dot call me, and C dot call me only. Understood, ma? Still, do you have any?
For B class, we have inherited. Like A class will be also inherited into B class.
Yes,
why it not print A's call me method?
But it is overridden, no? That A call me method is, if the B does not have a call me method, if B does not have call me method, I comment to this one. If B class does not have call me method, then now it will invoke which class call me method, ma? Now this will invoke which class call me method, ma?
A class.
Now wait, I will show you. A class, because now that call me method was not overridden in B class. I comment that statement, no? So now it will call A class call me method only. Understood, ma?
Yes,
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Even if I am calling by using r dot call me, now which method is invoked? Instead of a b, if I am calling r dot call me, which method is invoked? Means a class call me method only invoked. Got it, Appa?
Ma'am?
Tell me.
Ma'am, but this cannot be done in the case of constructors, no, ma'am.
In the case of constructor means I can't get you, ma.
Ma'am, for example, we are calling from the object of ma'am B, and then we are getting, I mean, we are able to get that function call me from class A because of inheritance. But the same cannot be done to constructors, no, ma'am.
Wait, I will come to constructor program. This is an example of constructor program. Your doubt is if there is no derived one constructor, what will happen? You are asking that only, no?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. You will get an error message only. You will get an error if I comment this one. You are asking this only, no?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
You will get an error. You will get an error, ma. So this is not possible for constructor. So what is?
Okay. Okay.
Wait, I will. You will get an error, no argument string. Actually, in your by default in derived one, no argument constructor is created by the compiler because here there is no constructor means then compiler automatically create one no argument constructor. But here you are trying to create an object with the parameter means so it will search the constructor with the parameter, but it is not available. Only the constructor without parameter only available. So that's why you are getting an error. No argument. So actual and formal argument differ in length. Got it, Amma? Understood, Amma?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am.
Ma'am, in the same program you showed a minute back.
This program?
This one, ma'am. Here, for this program, the no parameter constructor of base class is invoked, ma'am. In what case will the parameterized constructor of base class?
So to call base class parameterized constructor, for that we need to use the keyword super. We will see that later. So from derived class parameterized constructor, from derived class parameterized constructor, I want to call the base class parameterized constructor. I have to use the keyword super, ma. So that we will see later. But by default, it will call always base class no argument constructor. You want to call explicitly, you need to use the keyword super. Got it, Appa?
Okay, ma'am. Okay, ma'am. Got it.
Ma'am?
Tell me, Pa. Tell me.
Once go to dispatch program, ma'am.
Dispatch program. Okay. Tell me, Pa.
If we change the reference to B, A comma R is there, no, ma'am? If we change to B comma R, capital B comma R, reference type.
B comma R. Okay. And then I cannot,
then what will happen, ma'am?
Then you will get error because
error will come. Error.
Because what is A type? This object A. Object type is base class object. No. What is this reference type? R type is derived class. I told so many times, no, that is we cannot store base class object in derived class reference. You will get one exception. What type of exception you will get? Anyone tell me what type of exception you will get? Pa?
Class cast.
Class cost exception. You will get class cost exception. Okay, Mama. You can store derived class object in base class reference, but you cannot store base class object in derived class reference. Okay, va? Next, in this, I told you, no, from derived class one argument constructor or from any constructor, you want to call any parameterized constructor of that super class, we need to use the keyword super. So I will show you an example. Here class base. So within that I have one no argument constructor and then one parameterized constructor, and then this derived one is derived from that base class, and this class have only one parameterized constructor. So within main function, I have created object for derived one. Here you can also write derived one, no problem. You can change it instead of base, you can also write a derived one. So when I am creating object, so here I am creating object for derived one class. So immediately control will come to the corresponding parameterized constructor. So control will come to here. Actually from here, it will call the no argument constructor of the base class. But here what I'm doing, so here I'm trying to explicitly call the base class one argument constructor. So here that argument str. So here what argument I'm passing? I'm passing str. So in that str, what is there now? Derived object created is there. So that is going to pass the argument for this one argument constructor of the base class. So now what will be printed means, so now derived class object created and then base constructor. So first it will print a derived object created base constructor. So after that control immediately will come to here. So then it will print derived object created and derived constructor. So after that control will come to here. Then it will print main. Understood, Amma? Understood or not? Say yes or no, ma? To explicitly call the base class parameterized constructor, we have to use the keyword super. Understood?
Okay, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
But in C++, also by default it will call the base class no argument constructor. No, ma? If I want to explicitly call the base class parameterized constructor, what we have to use? Have you remember? Have you remembered that? Scope resolution. Scope resolution, amma. Actually, I forget that one. Anyone remember? We won't use that initializer list, appa. Initializer list, through initializer list only we can call the base class base class parameterized constructor, no? Through initializer list. Okay, tomorrow I will check it and tell you. Tomorrow I forget that one. I thought through initializer list only it is possible. We can explicitly call the base class parameterized constructor only by using initializer list. I thought by using scope resolution operator it is not possible. I think so. I will check it and I will tell you. Up to this, do you have any doubt, ma? Up to this, do you have any doubt? Yes,
Ma'am?
Tell me, pa.
Ma'am, it will be initializer list only, no, ma'am?
Initializer list in C++, not by using scope resolution, no? Scope resolution operator.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
In C++, it is only by, we can call the base class parameterized constructor only through initializer list, not by using a scope resolution. So tomorrow I will show you an example. Then it will clear. Okay. Up to this, okay, Papa? Anybody have doubt?
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. So next class, we will see about the super keyword very clearly. So okay, ma. Thank you, pa.